You wake up. You sit down. That is it. From the moment your eyes opened, you have not left your room. You might not even know if it is sunny or raining outside right now. Your feet have not stepped past the door. Not once. Your body is still half inside, sleep quiet, still, slow. But your mind already has to work, read, type, think, answer. So your hands move on the keyboard. Your eyes move across the page. But the rest of you does not feel like it belongs to you. Not fully. Your body feels stiff, slower than it should be, like a machine that has not finished starting up. Your shoulders feel tight, though you have not lifted anything. Your legs feel heavy underneath the desk, though they have done nothing at all. Even your thoughts feel a little slow, like they are moving through something thick. You push through it anyway. You force yourself to focus, because the work is waiting and there is no time to wait for your body to catch up. You do not realize it, but your body has never actually woken up. Not really. Only your eyes did. Today we are talking about one very small habit, walking outside for 10 minutes, before anything else. Not a workout, not exercise with a plan, just walking. No destination, any direction, then back home. This is not about fitness, and it is not about losing weight or building strength. Those are good goals, but they are not what this episode is about. This is about something much smaller and much closer to right now, how your body feels in the very first hour after you wake up, before you sit down to do anything else. Here is the question for today. Why does walking for 10 minutes outside, before anything else, wake up your whole body in a way that sitting down to work never can? By the end of this episode, you will know the answer, and you will know exactly what to do tomorrow morning. One small thing, 10 minutes. That is all. Let's start. First, let's talk about why most people sit down to work the moment they wake up, without ever stepping outside. It is not laziness. It is not because people do not care about their bodies. There are real reasons, and every one of them makes sense. Here is the first reason. The morning already feels too rushed for a walk. Work is waiting. Class is waiting. Messages are waiting. 10 minutes of walking sounds like a luxury when there is already so much to do right away. Here is the second reason. People believe sitting down early means working more efficiently. They think, I should start working right now, not waste time on something else. A walk feels like delaying the real work, even though it has nothing to do with the work itself. Here is the third reason. There is no clear reason to go outside if nothing is waiting out there. No store to visit, no person to meet. Going outside with no purpose at all can feel strange, almost like wasting time on purpose. Here is the fourth reason. People do not notice their own body feeling stiff and slow because they have never felt anything different. That stiff, slow feeling in the morning has always been there, for as long as they can remember. They do not know there is another way for the body to feel. It just feels like what mornings are. Here is the fifth reason. The room feels safe, and the outside feels unpredictable. Inside, everything is familiar, the same desk, the same chair, the same light. Outside, there could be cold air, noise, people, weather you did not check for. Staying inside feels easier, even if it is not actually better for the body. Here is the sixth reason. Many people think movement should wait until later, like after work or after class. They have a plan in their head: exercise later, maybe in the evening, maybe on the weekend. The morning feels like it belongs only to work, not to the body. So walking gets pushed to later, and later often never comes. Here is the seventh reason. A short walk does not feel like it counts as real exercise, so it feels pointless. People often think of movement in two categories: a proper workout or nothing at all. 10 minutes of slow walking with no goal, no sweat, no real effort does not fit into either box. It feels too small to be worth doing, even though being small is exactly what makes it possible to do every single day. All of these reasons make complete sense. Nobody is doing anything wrong by sitting down to work the moment they wake up. Today, you are going to learn why those first 10 minutes outside matter more than they seem to. So, why does a short walk actually wake up your whole body? Let's keep this simple. While you sleep, your body lies still for many hours. Your muscles barely move. Your blood does not need to move quickly, because nothing is asking your body to do anything. When you wake up and sit down right away, your body stays close to that same still state. Your eyes are open, but your muscles are still mostly resting. Your blood still has no real reason to move faster. Walking changes this with something very simple. When you walk, the muscles in your legs start working, and working muscles need more blood than resting ones. So your heart begins to beat a little faster, sending blood out faster to keep up. That blood does not only go to your legs, it moves more quickly everywhere in your body, including your brain. That is one reason why, after a short walk, your head often feels clearer, not just your legs. There is something else worth knowing. Light also plays a small part here. Even on a cloudy day, the light outside is much brighter than the light inside a room. That brighter light reaches your eyes and sends a small signal to your brain. The day has truly started now. Combined with your moving muscles, this gives your whole body two signals at once, both saying the same thing: wake up, the day has begun. You might think a cup of coffee does the same job. In some ways, it does help you feel more alert. But coffee works mainly on your mind, helping you feel awake and focused. It does not move your muscles or send fresh blood through your whole body the way walking does. The two are not really competing with each other. They simply do different jobs. Walking wakes up the body. Coffee can help wake up the mind. Many people find that doing both, walking first and having coffee after, works better than either one alone. Think about how different this is from simply sitting and waiting to feel awake. If you sit at your desk hoping your body will eventually catch up on its own, it usually takes much longer. Sometimes the stiff, slow feeling lasts the entire morning. Walking gives your body a clear, direct signal, instead of waiting passively for that feeling to fade by itself. You can think of it a little like warming up before any kind of activity. Athletes do not run at full speed the moment they arrive at the field. They walk and stretch first, letting their muscles slowly get ready. Your morning is similar. Walking for 10 minutes is simply a gentle warm-up for the rest of your day, even if that day is spent sitting at a desk rather than running anywhere at all. Many people say that after walking for 10 minutes in the morning, their body feels noticeably looser by the time they sit down to work, not because the work became easier, but because their body had already done what it needed to do, move before being asked to sit still again. Here is a simple example. There was a person who worked from home. Every morning, they woke up, washed their face, and sat down at their desk right away. They always felt stiff and slow during that first hour, tight shoulders, a mind that would not focus no matter how hard they tried. One day, they tried something different. Before sitting down, they stepped outside. No destination, just a walk around the block, then back home. 10 minutes, nothing more. They were not sure it would change anything. But when they finally sat down afterward, something felt different. Their shoulders were not as tight as usual. Their mind felt a little sharper. Not because they had done less work that morning, but because their body had actually woken up before being asked to sit still again. Here is a second example, a little different. There was a student preparing for important exams. Every morning, she woke up and opened her books immediately, feeling she could not afford to waste a single minute. She often felt slow and unfocused for the first hour, rereading the same page 2 or 3 times before anything made sense. A friend suggested she try walking for 10 minutes before opening her books, just to see what would happen. She doubted it would help. It felt like the opposite of studying. But she tried it anyway, walking once around her neighborhood and back. When she sat down afterward, she noticed she understood the first page on the first read. She still studied the same number of hours that day, but those 10 minutes outside seemed to help the hours that followed go more smoothly, with less of that early, foggy slowness she usually fought through. Here is one more short example, just to show how naturally this can fit into an already busy life. There was a man who had a dog that needed walking every morning anyway. For years, he saw this as a job he had to do for the dog, not for himself, something to get through quickly before his real day began at his desk. One morning, almost by accident, he paid attention to how he felt afterward. Instead of rushing straight to his computer, he noticed his hands were steadier on the keyboard. His thoughts came together faster than usual. He realized the dog had been doing him a favor every single morning, for years, without him ever noticing it. The walk he thought was only for the dog had quietly been waking up his own body the entire time. 3 people, 3 very different mornings. Someone working from home, a student before exams, a man walking his dog. None of them set out to test anything. They simply noticed, afterward, that their body felt different than it usually did. That noticing is really the whole point of trying this for yourself. So now you understand why walking outside works. But here is where it is easy to get this wrong. People think they need a real walk, with proper shoes, a planned route, maybe even exercise clothes. That sounds like too much effort before work even starts, so they skip it entirely. That is not what this is. You do not need to walk far. You do not need to walk fast. You do not need a destination at all. Here is exactly how to do it. After you get ready in the morning, before you sit down to work or study, step outside. Choose any direction. It does not matter which one. Walk for about 10 minutes, then turn around and walk back home. That is the entire habit. No special clothes, no special shoes if you do not want them. No app to track anything. Just walking, then returning. If the weather does not allow it, heavy rain, extreme cold, you can walk indoors instead, up and down the stairs, if you have them, around your room or your home, several times. The important part is not being outside specifically. The important part is your legs moving for about 10 minutes before you sit down. Attach this to a moment you already have. Right after you finish getting ready, after washing your face, after getting dressed, that is your moment. Before you touch your phone, before you sit down at your desk, you walk. Some mornings, 10 minutes might feel like too much, especially if you are already running late. On those mornings, even 5 minutes is still worth trying. A short walk is still better than no walk at all. If you are not sure where to walk, that is completely fine. That is actually the point. You do not need a plan. Walk toward the end of your street and back. Walk around your building once or twice. Walk to a small shop you never actually need to enter. Then turn around. The destination is not the goal here. The walking itself is the goal. You also do not need to walk alone if that feels strange to you. If you live with someone, you can invite them along, even just for company. If you have a pet that needs walking anyway, this can simply become that same walk, with a small shift in how you think about it, not just for the pet, but for your own body too. There is no need to check the time too carefully either. 10 minutes is simply a rough guide, not a strict rule. If it becomes 8 minutes some mornings or 12 on others, none of that matters. What matters is that your legs moved outside before you sat down to begin your work. When you do this every morning, it becomes part of getting ready, the same as brushing your teeth or making coffee. You stop deciding to do it. It simply happens before the sitting begins. So here is what you can do. Tomorrow morning, after you get ready, before you sit down to work or study, walk outside for 10 minutes. Any direction. No destination. Just walk. Then come back. Then sit down and start your day as you normally would. So remember, tomorrow morning, before you sit down 10 minutes outside, that is the one thing. Can you try this? I think you can. It takes 10 minutes. It costs nothing. And tomorrow morning, your body might feel a little more ready than it usually does. Try it even if it feels strange at first, walking with nowhere to go. That feeling fades quickly, usually after the first morning or two, once your body starts to expect this small movement before sitting down. You might even start to look forward to it. In a small way, those 10 minutes where nobody needs anything from you yet, where the only job is to move your legs and breathe some outside air before the day truly begins. We are almost at the end of today's episode, but before we finish, let me paint one small picture for you. Tomorrow morning, you wake up, but this time, you do not sit down right away. You step outside. You walk no destination, just one direction, then back. 10 minutes pass. Your legs feel looser. Your chest feels a little more open. When you come back and sit down, something is different. Your body is not stiff anymore. It already moved. It already woke up. Really woke up, not just your eyes. And the work in front of you does not feel quite as heavy as it did yesterday when you sat down still half asleep. It did not take much. 10 minutes, no plan, no destination. Just your legs, moving, before everything else asked something of you. Let's remember what we talked about today. When you wake up and sit down right away, your body stays almost as still as it was while you were sleeping. Your muscles need to move for your blood to move faster, and that includes the blood going to your brain. A short walk, even with no destination, wakes up your whole body, not just your eyes. You do not need to walk far or fast, just 10 minutes, any direction, then back. Walking before you sit down can make your body feel looser and your mind feel clearer for the rest of the morning. This is one of the simplest habits we have talked about. No equipment, no cost, nothing to buy. Just a door and legs that already know exactly how to walk. Tomorrow morning, before you sit down to work or study, 10 minutes outside. Any direction. That is the one thing. Now let's go over our words for today. Move. Your legs have not moved yet. Not really. Not until you walk. Muscle. When you walk, your muscles wake up, not just your eyes. Stiff. Your body feels stiff in the morning because it has not moved. Walk. A short walk tells your whole body the day has started. Loose. After 10 minutes of walking, your body feels looser. Step. Take 10 minutes. Just walk. One step, then another. If this was helpful, listen again or share it with a friend who wants to learn English and feel better in the morning. It is a small habit, but your body will notice the difference long before your mind fully understands why. All it asks of you is 10 minutes and a door that is already there, waiting to be opened. See you next time.